So next we can discuss about sum and difference frequency generation. Okay, let us assume the incident field has two different frequency. So then we will think about how we can produce two different frequency. The best way to get two different frequencies use two sources. Okay, so if you incident two sources simultaneously, that is two laser beam. Remember, in order to get the nonlinear optics or in order to show the nonlinear phenomena, we require high intensity. So therefore, only laser can produce that much intense light and that much high electric field. So if you use two lasers of different frequency and incident the light on a nonlinear crystal, then it is possible to have some difference frequency generation. Okay, so I have to consider the optical field. You can represent E of t, which can be written as E1 e raised to minus I omega 1t plus E2 e raised to minus I omega 2t plus its complex conjugate. So this E1, E2 are the amplitudes of the frequency omega 1 and omega 2 respectively. Okay, so we have two different frequencies omega 1 and omega 2. Okay, then what is our the total polarization? So total polarization we can write P of t. It will have the first order polarization plus second order plus third order and so on. The first order we can write epsilon 0 chi 1 E tilde. Then second order is epsilon 0 chi 2 E square. And third order epsilon 0 chi 3 E cube plus etc. So again we are assuming the chi 2 is present. Okay, the crystal is having chi 2. Then we can neglect the higher order terms. Okay, so then the first thing is we can write P1. So the P1 of T we can write as epsilon 0 chi 1. The electric field will become E1 e raised to minus I omega 1t plus E2 e raised to minus I omega 2t plus its complex conjugate. So this would be the linear polarization. So the linear polarization is oscillating with the frequency omega 1 and omega 2 respectively. And what about the nonlinear polarization? P2. Okay, so what we have assumed is chi 2 is non-zero and hence we will neglect the third and higher order polarization. Okay, so only second order we are taking because second order is non-zero. So if second order is zero, then you have to consider the third order polarization. So this become epsilon 0 chi 2 e square. So if you take e square, we'll get many terms. So I will just list down the terms here. Okay, you can do it yourself. So it become the first term I can write as e1 square e raised to minus I to omega 1t plus e2 square e raised to minus I to omega 2t plus 2 e1 e2 e raised to minus I omega 1 plus omega 2 times t plus 2 e1 e2 star e raised to minus I omega 1 minus omega 2t plus the complex conjugate of all other terms plus 2 epsilon 0 chi 2 e1 e1 star plus E2, E2 star. Okay, so we are getting many terms here. Now this first term contains oscillation of 2 omega 1 frequency, 2 omega 2 frequency, and omega 1 plus omega 2 frequency, omega 1 minus omega 2 frequency. And plus there is one non-oscillating term. Okay, so this P2 of t better we can expand in some other way. Okay, so for simplicity, in order to make a simple representation, what we can do is P2 of t can be written as sum over n P of omega n e raised to minus I omega nt. Okay, so we'll get many terms. So P of omega n is the polarization amplitude corresponding to frequency omega n. So we'll have many oscillating frequencies. So first possibility is 2 omega 1 oscillation. So polarization. So what is the corresponding uh, the component of 2 omega 1? So 2 omega 1, the component is epsilon 0 chi 2 E1 square. And similarly, we can write P of 2 omega 2, that would be epsilon 0 chi 2 E2 square, and P of omega 1 plus omega 2 to epsilon 0 chi 2 E1 E2, P of omega 1 minus omega 2, that would be 2 epsilon 0 chi 2 E1 E2 star. And there is also a term which is not oscillating with the time or constant term, and which is 2 epsilon 0 chi 2 E1 E1 star plus E2 E2 star. Now we can explain the contribution of each of this term. Okay, so if you look at the first term is oscillating with frequency 2 omega 1. So obviously that will generate the second harmonic of omega 1. So this would generate second harmonic of omega 1. So that means it will produce 2 omega 1 frequency. Now this second term P of 2 omega 2, it will generate the second harmonic of omega 2. So it will generate 2 omega 2. So it's second harmonic generation of omega 2. The third term, it actually oscillating with frequency omega 1 plus omega 2. So that means it is oscillating as a sum of two frequencies. So it will produce the frequency, it will produce a signal with frequency omega 1 plus omega 2 is called the sum frequency generation. So this will contribute some frequency generation, that is omega 1 plus omega 2 will be generated. So some frequency generation is in short be written as SFG. And the next term is called the difference frequency generation, because it is oscillating with frequency omega 1 minus omega 2. In short, it can be written as a DFG. And the last term is again familiar to us. It is it will produce an constant electric field, and therefore this term contribute the optical rectification. Okay, so although we have listed the many phenomena here, but only one of these phenomena would be dominating. So it is not possible to produce the second harmonic generation of omega 1 and omega 2 together. Okay, so at a time we will get only one phenomena. So either you will get second harmonic generation of omega 1 or omega 2, or you will get some frequency generation, or you will get a difference frequency generation. So what is the deciding factor about which phenomena would be dominating? So there is some one condition called phase matching. Okay, so this condition is necessary to produce that particular oscillation. So if the phase matching condition is satisfying, we'll discuss the phase matching condition later. So if the phase matching condition is satisfying, then that particular frequency would be generated. Okay, so that is the main thing you have to remember. So all the frequency cannot be generated together, cannot be generated simultaneously with the same intensity. Okay, so you will get only one of these phenomena. So we have listed many, so only one of these phenomena would be present in one particular experiment. Okay, so it has to satisfy the phase matching condition. So at a time, only one frequency can attain phase matching condition. So although we have listed four phenomena, okay, optical rectification is a different thing because it is producing just a DC voltage. But apart from that, this phenomena produces an electromagnetic wave. So apart from this four phenomena, only one phenomena would be dominating, and that depending upon which frequency is satisfying that phase matching condition. Okay, so in the same crystal, we can get the phase matching of the different frequencies that is depending upon the orientation. By changing the orientation of the crystal, we can change the phase matching condition as well. So that is the its practical aspect, but theoretically, this is enough for us. Okay, so we have discussed the generation of some frequency and difference frequency using the second order nonlinearity. Okay, so we can stop it here. So in the next class, we'll come up with a new topic.